So, I failed my YouTube 75 hard challenge. I was supposed to upload 75 consecutive daily videos. I made it through, well, let's just say significantly fewer than 75. And honestly, I'm completely okay with that. Plot twist, right? But hear me out, because what I've learned from failing this challenge might be the most valuable thing I could have discovered about myself as a creator. Let me just rewind a little bit. Back in January, I decided to take on the YouTube 75 Hard Challenge, and my goal was to upload 75 consecutive daily videos over 75 days, from January through somewhere around April. I had this whole plan mapped out, like Procreate time-lapse videos, weekly vlogs, talking videos sprinkled throughout the week. I was going to document my entire journey of transforming my bedroom into a functional art studio and building my small business. And it was ambitious. Actually, it was more than ambitious. It was asking a lot of myself. And I did know that going in. I mean, it's called a challenge for a reason. It wasn't meant to be easy. But somewhere between the planning and the execution, I discovered something important. It turns out that the type of content I had originally planned to create for this challenge, it just wasn't really me. I thought I could just do that quick sit down, talk to the camera, upload and go style video. You know, the kind where you just hit record, chat for 10 to 15 minutes about your day and post it. But every time I tried, something just felt off. I would sit there trying to sound natural while talking about my to-do list or explaining a concept, and it just felt kind of forced and uncomfortable, like I was playing a character instead of being myself. And the thing is, I genuinely love creating video content. That part wasn't the problem. The problem was that I was trying to create in a style that didn't match who I am as a creative person. So here's what I actually discovered about myself as a creator. One, I genuinely enjoy creating long-form video content. The process of filming, capturing moments, telling a story, I really love that part. The problem was never the video creation itself. Two, I prefer B-roll, a bit of storytelling, voiceover, and no direct talking to the camera. Like, give me just footage of hands working, process shots, transformation sequences. That's where I come alive. I feel like that's where the story is. Three, I'm slowly learning the process that works for me and my current tools. I'm figuring out that I need to probably not be filming 4K and scale that back down to just HD workflow, learning to film shorter, more intentional clips. And you know what? That's okay. I know I'll get better as I go along. What I realize is that I'm not really capable of the just sit down and talk, upload style. And more importantly, that's not a failure. That's just not my style. I prefer something more thought out, a bit more polished, more intentionally pulled together. And I think that's the main reason this particular challenge structure wasn't successful for me. I was trying to fit my creative process into someone else's template. So, what did this failure teach me? It taught me that there's a difference between pushing yourself outside of your comfort zone and pushing yourself into someone else's comfort zone. Yes, I didn't complete 75 videos in 75 days, but I learned exactly what kind of creator I am. And honestly, that knowledge is worth more than any arbitrary number of uploads. I learned that I'm a craft-focused storyteller. I care about the visual narrative. I want to take my time and make something I'm proud of, not just something that checks a box on a daily upload schedule. And here's the beautiful part. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. The YouTube algorithm might love consistent daily uploads, but you know what I love? Creating content that feels authentic to who I am. Content that I'm genuinely excited to share, not content I'm forcing myself to produce because a challenge told me to. So, what's next for Yvette Draw Stuff? I still have so many stories I want to tell, ideas about art, my creative process, sharing my small business journey as authentically as possible. Those things haven't changed. What has changed is my approach. Instead of daily video challenges, I'm taking a more reasonable pace, one that lets me focus on quality over quantity because that's more my speed creatively. I want to document the messy, beautiful process of building something real, the studio transformations, the market preparations, the product creation, the behind the scenes moments that actually matter. But I want to do it in a way that feels sustainable, a way that lets me bring you along on the journey without burning out trying to meet someone else's definition of success. Because here's what I've learned. It's not about how often you post. It's about showing up as your authentic self whenever you do post. So, yes, I failed the YouTube 75 Hard Challenge, but I succeeded in something way more important. I figured out what kind of creator I actually want to be. If you've made it this far, thank you for being here, for giving me grace as I figure this out, for understanding that sometimes the most important thing you can learn is what doesn't work for you. I'll be back with more content, just at a pace that actually works for my creative process. Quality over quantity, intention over obligation. And if you're on your own creative journey, trying to figure out what works for you, give yourself permission to fail those challenges that don't fit. Because sometimes the best thing you can discover is what you're not meant to do. Anyway, thank you, cuties, for watching my little YouTube video today. And until next time, bye! So, I failed my YouTube 75. I can't even pronounce it right. I still have so many stories I want to tell. Ideals. Ideals?